What is Sermorelin? Sermorelin is a synthetic pharmaceutical compounded drug, a peptide derived from a mirrored segment of growth hormone releasing hormone, GHRH. GHRH is the secretagogue hormone produced by the hypothalamus that produces human growth hormone, HGH, via stimulation. Although a synthetic hormone, Sermorelin is structurally identical to a shortened version of GHRH, 29 of the 44 amino acids. GHRH operates as a chemical messenger that signals the pituitary gland's somatotroph cells to send more growth hormone to be delivered to the body. GHRH is secreted by the hypothalamus gland, and its secretion is thought to decline with age, and this is one theory as to why humans experience HGH decline. Sermorelin is a shortened version of GHRH. Thus, with the knowledge that Sermorelin contains the same 29 of the 44 peptides, proteins that are in GHRH, scientists have proven that Sermorelin has the same effect on the body as GHRH, promoting additional amounts of HGH from the pituitary gland. Scientists started by copying the 44 peptide chain of GHRH, and then one by one remove a string, going to 43, 42, 41, 40, all the way down to 29, and found that 29 chains were the shortest they could go to get HGH stimulated. This means that when they reduced GHRH to 28 strings, it no longer had any physiological effect on the human body for stimulating HGH production in the pituitary gland. Pretty amazing stuff. Why should I consider using Sermorelin peptide injections? Great question, and a simple answer. Growth hormone, GH, is so vital to our overall health, and its natural decline in the human body leads to many harmful health effects. We list many side effects people experience when their GH levels decline. Human growth hormone is responsible for the explosive growth seen in puberty and during teenage years until young adulthood in our 20s. Want proof of what Sermorelin can potentially do? Consider the fact that children who suffer from low levels of growth hormone grow at a much slower rate than average and fail to attain the size of their peers. These children are short of stature and are diagnosed with dwarfism. Their sexual organs do not always fully develop like their peers. Drugs that children are often prescribed for ADHD that can cause the same or similar effect as HGH deficiency, causing some boys, for instance, who grow up, reaching adulthood, with underdeveloped penises or micropenis. When we reach the end of adolescence and are at our final adult height, the epiphyseal plates of our long bones are sealed, and our levels of growth hormone drop, since the body no longer feels the need for HGH to perform its intended function. This is all, of course, an oversimplification, but there is a lot more complexity to the endocrine system than what is discussed, and there are various reasons why HGH is insufficient in humans going through the natural life cycle. For instance, sometimes tumors can grow on the pituitary gland that has the effect of causing HGH to be released in doses insufficient. Tumors on the pituitary gland can also sometimes lead to a heightened amount of HGH produced or released in the body, resulting in acromegaly or gigantism. And you have seen such people who are incredibly tall, in the 6'5" inches and above height, some reaching 7 feet tall. HGH levels are needed for normal physiological function. But we still require adequate levels of growth hormone to stay at a high level of physical and mental conditioning concerning normal health, as well as keeping our energy levels high and all systems in our bodies functioning at optimum levels. Thus, the ideal is that sweet spot, or Goldilocks zone, of not too much and not too little, but just right. When levels get too low in our older age, our bodies naturally do not regenerate and recover the way they used to in youth, leading to many harmful side effects that will be discussed in great detail on our website. And one thing to remember, HGH is not a magic potion of anti-aging. There is a science behind its replenishment and more. Too much is not always better. With HGH, the ideal is hormone optimization, getting just enough replenishment to get a kind of perfect balance, so to speak. Some people think more is better with HGH and taking massive doses is best, but this is categorically false. There are dangers associated with too much HGH, and one's IGF-1 levels can reflect this fact. One should never take high doses of HGH as many bodybuilders and sports pros do. Abuse or overuse of HGH has many risks and dangers. See our numerous discussions elsewhere about the side effects of too many hormones. There are even some who believe HGH is the fountain of youth, an anti-aging miracle and magic bullet. They are sadly mistaken. The entire endocrine system and internal workings of the organs are a symphony of sorts. When we reach full growth, do we still need growth hormone? It might seem like a common rhetorical question. Do humans need optimal levels of HGH in the body for best results? Of course. The answer is a loud, resounding yes. Here's why. When the level of growth hormone secreted by the pituitary gland slows down or declines precipitously, the aging process accelerates, with its parade of debilitating health problems. Increasing muscle weakness and loss of muscle tone and strength. We watched it happen when we reached our physical peak in our late 20s and early 30s. But this is when things tend to peak and begin their decline. By 40, our mortality becomes apparent, as inevitable realizations become cognizant. Many people who have desk jobs, careers, hit their wall in their late 20s and throughout their 30s. They go to a situation where you sit on your butt all day, then they go home tired and sit on the couch or the computer desk, pecking away or sitting down to eat at home or in a restaurant. The sedentary lifestyle of sitting during work and sitting during play has caused hundreds of millions of people in the West to experience muscle atrophy and gain lots of fat exactly at their core, right on their buttocks, on the hips, thighs, and stomach. Men are starting to develop wide hips in a pear or apple shape, and it's not just women going through this disaster of obesity and muscle loss. The sedentary lifestyle isn't just the only epidemic in America. This problem can also arise from hormone decline precipitated by a radically changing society concerning the chemicals used in growing foods, in our rivers and streams, etc. The incidence of endocrine disorders is astonishingly high in modern times. Chronic fatigue. Are you tired for no reason at all? Have you noticed out of nowhere in the middle of the day you feel tired? Do you find yourself needing coffee even though you just had a full night's sleep? Do you notice you don't rest so good during the night, tossing and turning or waking up in the middle of the night for no reason? People who do not sleep well at night, people who have insomnia, people who find themselves experience midday crashes, might have a hormone imbalance or HGH decline of testosterone or testosterone deficiency. Ever annoying joint aches and pains. We don't just lose our flexibility when we age. Cartilage between our bones recedes. Inflammation sets in and we get all sorts of aches and pains when we move around, or just conduct ourselves in a day-to-day period. The lower back, ankles, and knees are usually where the beginnings of such pain begin, but in the computer age, such strains are common in the hands, arms, elbows, and shoulders. Quite frankly, we get those aches and pains everywhere as we age. Brain fog and inability to concentrate. It's a fact. As we age, our memory declines. Our intellectual capacity can decrease. Not always, but some find themselves forgetting words, forgetting things, and being absent-minded. Some patients who have undergone hormone restoration programs have found they regained superior cognitive. The stiffness of muscles and joints with a maddening loss of flexibility. We lose flexibility as we age, and this is from a lack of stretching. It can lead to pain in the joints and stiffness. One study showed that adults and seniors who regularly stretch or do yoga-oriented exercises remain more flexible and live longer. They actually found that flexibility is a marker for longevity. There appears to be a correlation, though correlation doesn't always mean causation.